Hi friends, this is Tina and welcome to my new video. So in this video we are going to set up my May weekly spreads, and because I feel like I often do similar weekly spreads over and over, I wanted to do something a little bit different here and decided to experiment a little bit more. So I really hope you like these weeklies because I do. If you have not seen my May plan with me video yet where I made this forest theme, I will link the video down in the description and in the cards. But without further ado, let's get into the setup. So like I said, I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I decided to actually do a Dutch door that has all of the weeklies in it. I actually ended up cutting the pages off camera, but the first spread here is a Dutch door inside a Dutch door. And the second spread that I have in this whole setup is a more simple weekly spread that has a painting peeking from the right side, and it has some of this paper that I'm gluing in later on the left side. And the last weekly is just a full painting and some of the dailies on the left side. But you will be seeing all this later. But we are actually starting from the last weekly spread. And I know this order is really weird, but this is the painting that you will be able to see from all of the spreads. So I wanted to do that first because I know that it will make a lot more sense to you when you see it all in action instead of just doing one element in perfect order. But I use gouache for these paintings, as I often do, and these are all the colors that I used for this painting. And I actually have to say I used only one brush for all of these paintings in this whole video. I don't know how that happened, I just didn't pick up any other ones. But here you can see how I'm blending or mixing the green color I'm using for the forest background. And here you can also see the gouache consistency that I'm usually going for. I like a little bit more creamy and milky texture with my gouache, but you can do whatever you want. So I took that green color and just painted the background for this image, so I left all the trees white for now. And then I took a little bit darker green and painted some of this kind of loose and messy greenery on the upper portion of the background as well as the lower portion. So it looks like there is some trees in the back as well, but they're not the main character of this painting. Then I took a little bit yellower and lighter green color and just painted the middle section of the background with this. At this point, I always like to think about the lighting in this photo, so I would like to think that the light is coming from the center where I added that lighter green color, and there's gonna be this big pathway in the middle of this whole painting, and I would like to think that all the sides in the trees that are closer to the pathway are lighter, and the ones that are further away from that, they are darker because the light is coming from the middle. I really hope you understand what I'm saying. Then I just colored in the trees with a dark brown color, and usually when you add gouache, the actual result might be a little bit lighter in color than you had originally thought, because the color usually gets a little less vibrant. So later on I just added some darker brown to some of the sides of the trees again, because, well, it looks really light here. I wanted to add obviously bigger trees in the forefront, and all the ones that are in the back I made them gradually smaller just to keep that perspective going on and made it look a little bit more realistic. I also added these smaller branches coming off the trees in the upper part of this painting just to keep it looking a little bit more wild and, I don't know, realistic forest. Like I said about the shadows earlier, I just mixed a lighter brown color and started adding it to the trees. And again, I focused on the sides of the trees that are close to the pathway, again because the light is coming from the center. And I'm not perfect at creating shadows and highlights. I'm not completely sure what I'm doing, but it just looks right to me, so I went with that. For the ground, I just took a olive green color, and later on I added some details to it and made it a little bit darker in certain places, but first I just focused on adding the color to where it belonged. When I started making the pathway, I wanted to make it as messy as possible. Maybe it's a little bit overgrown and it has some grass just like growing from the middle of the pathway, and just make it a little bit more organic and realistic looking. So I just added some lighter brown color at first and I started darkening the edges of the pathway. I also just wanted to keep in mind that I wanted the edges of the pathway to be as messy and as wild looking as possible. And when the actual pathway was done, I took some green gouache and just added that on top of the brown areas, just to again make it look a little bit more organic and overgrown. I started adding some random shadows and highlights on the grass as well. I did it pretty messily. I didn't really think about where I'm placing them, to be honest, but I noticed that I went for darker shadows near the pathway. Maybe I just wanted it to look like the pathway was a little bit lower down than the grass part of the ground. But then I started working on the more harsh shadows that are coming from the trees. So again, the light is coming from the front and the middle. So the shadows of the trees are pointing straight at you as a viewer. I also added some more greenery to the top of the whole painting, and I wanted to make sure that this was a little bit more on focus compared to the greenery that we added first. So these little greenery spots are definitely a little bit closer than the ones that we did first. I started making the little grass strokes on the ground next, and for that I mixed some olive green, yellow and white, and I made this really light green color and just started making these small grass strokes all over the whole ground. I am also going to be adding some flowers on top of that later, so again, I said this in my previous video, but you don't definitely have to make it perfect or spend too much time on this, because they're going to be covered with the flowers later. But next I just started tapping some white flowers on top of the grass strokes, and again I used a really loose flower look. These are not really any type of flowers, or at least they don't look like any. So yeah, this is a really loose style, and I think it still makes this painting look so much better. By the way, I'm using a Winsor & Newton permanent white for this, and I think it has a perfect opaqueness. Lastly, I also added these small yellow flowers to the ground to make it look a little bit more interesting, and I also darkened the trees a little bit because again, it looked a little bit too light for my liking. But that is it for this painting. I will now take a step back and go to the first weekly so we can set up that layout and the painting here. The left side of the first weekly spread is also a little spot that is visible from all the other weeklies, so I wanted to make it look a little bit more interesting, and I took this paper that I got from Stationery Pal. It was gifted, by the way, and it has these kind of old book page kind of feel, and it also has these yellow flowers, and I think it kind of looked perfect with this whole setup. And I also took this brown craft paper and glued it on the second spread. This is also a little snippet that you will be able to see from the first weekly. So the first weekly spread is a Dutch door spread, like I said, so I just cut the page in the middle vertically, and like I often do, I wanted to add these circle tabs almost to the middle page, so there are these pop-out circles that will have the date of each day. When I was taping the area for my painting, I actually noticed how good this orange grid washi looks in this whole spread, so I decided to add a little piece of that to the left side as well. I colored all of the circles in each side with my Faber-Castell brush pen, but before we finish the layout, let's make the painting in this spread. So I started my painting the same way as the last one, and I just made the background first. I painted it with this darker green color and just added that tiny bit of greenery in the back and made the ground for this whole painting. So there's this little bush of these white flowers, and above that there are some trees in the background, and there's some brown trees. I really don't know what this tree is called, but there are also birch trees. With this painting, I was definitely a little bit more messy and I just wanted to get it done. I didn't really want to spend that much time on it. So, you know, I was not really that careful when I was working on it. I made these little birch tree patterns on them, and I'm just taking this dark brown color and added these organic little random dots and lines to mainly the right side of the trees again, which was a little bit more in the shadow. So I made these long grass strokes to the lower side of this painting where we have this bush, and I wanted the bottom of that bush to be a little bit darker in color because, well, that just makes sense. And then I started making these white flowers on top, and I did not research what the name of these flowers are because this is not the same messy flower as I had in my previous painting. These are actually flowers I see a lot in summer in Finland, but I don't know what it's called. And I also added some yellow flowers here and there and darkened some of the areas between the flowers to make it look a little bit more layered and realistic. But that was a quick painting, and next I just peeled off the tapes. I had also taped the other side of this page just because when you paint to the edges of your page, the paint can easily go to the other side as well. So this is always a good tip to do. I definitely have learned this the hard way. And then I started making the actual layout. It is really simple. I just didn't know what to add in here. I really tried, but I just couldn't come up with anything. So I added the May title on the left side along with a small calendar and then just some spaces for notes and to-dos. But the next spread that I'm working on is a really simple one. This does not have any extra paintings. I have actually done all of my paintings for this video already. So for the second weekly, I just made this really simple layout where I have 4 days on top in this bigger box and also all the rest of the 3 days in the bottom little box along with a notes section. I also made a drop shadow to all of the boxes, and I added the same Faber-Castell pen to make this dot for each day where I can write the date on top. So yeah, this is really simple. I have loved making one more simple spread in my setup, so this was it. And also I added a couple of stickers in this spread. I have actually never added an actual like sticker other than a circle sticker in my setup, so I think I'm pretty proud of myself. But that is it for this spread. It was definitely a really quick one, and now we are working on the last weekly layout of this whole setup. I know this was a little bit weird because I made the paintings basically first and now I'm just making these boring weeklies, I guess. But I just actually decided to write the days of the week with a brush pen. I have never done that either, so like I've said in my previous videos, I am experimenting. So I made this really simple box weekly spread layout for the last week, and even though I tried to make this gingham print or pattern work for my like little task list on the left side, I decided to go and glue this grid washi tape paper on the left side of the spread instead. I don't know, I just didn't really feel the cooler tone of the gray color. But that is it for all of my weeklies this month. I know it was a little bit different, but I really hope you enjoyed it. And now we are just quickly gonna flip through all the pages I made in this video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and leave a foresty emoji down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!